One last question about the writing, or I guess about the album.
This interview's going to be split up into 7 different parts.
I know,
by the way,
it'll be
so.
really long. Why did you name it Frames? Why did you name it after that song?
Haha, that's the question.
I'm sure lots of people ask you that, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
There's a lot of reasons that I came to that name, but I think that, well, obviously the song Frames is in it, and I always liked the idea of taking a song that's not your first single or your second single or your single ever, and having that be like, what's that all about? You know, I like that. But I think the thing about Frames is, you know, I've always thought, I like, they're all different. Like, there's frames. Like, if you look at frames on, like, in the album, when you open it up, there's frames on the wall. And, like, every picture tells a different story. And, like, you I mean, it's the craziest thing. You could see, like, a frame of, you know, when you were born, and a frame from, you know, a picture of your funeral, whatever. Like, you know, and, like, 2 right next to each other. And there they are, 2 separate things, 2 completely different stories.
Time traveling.
But but and, like, the frame just kind of puts it into perspective for you. And so I just kind of looked at this album as like a collection of different, a haul of different picture frames, if you will.
That's cool.
I
like that idea.
And you know, when I said it out loud, it kind of made sense. You know, there were definitely other titles, for sure, other titles in the work, but I mean, a lot of them. I mean, but and then I was just like a lot of them were longer, and that was simple frames. And I love that song. You know, I mean, that's a big part of it, is I love that song.
Cool.
And different frames of mind. I can get into it with you.
There's a lot of meaning. It could be for.
There are, but everything
frames
came back to that. Like,
evokes a lot of things.
That's one of the big reasons. But I haven't, you know. But yeah, like, you know, your different frames of mind, like frames of. I mean, just everything kept coming back to that.
I was actually thinking about maybe how you're framed, because you were framed as, you know, the winner of American Idol, and now you're framed as...
But then look at the picture frame next to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And, like, now you are in a different place.
Everything kept coming back to that word for me.
Yeah.
Frames. Like, it just did. And frame of mind, you know, like, just the whole thing. And I was just like, this is right. And my manager was like, you know, like, totally, like, he was very helpful in that process. I would be like, dude, best name ever. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't call it that. Like, you know, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And not that I was like leaving creative, you know, decisions up to just whatever, but like,
well, you have to bounce those things off.
But I trust that guy with my life, and I get really excited about things, as you can tell. I start talking, and I'll be like, dude, we should totally name the album like No Name, like, you know, stupid stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I really think it should have a name.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, so
okay, well, so what's next for you? You'll be touring.
We're gonna be on the road a lot, playing all over the place. You know, we've done a lot of touring this year so far, but now with the new record out, I mean, it's only been out a few months now, so we have a long way to go on the touring. I mean, we're gonna be out there full band next year. We're gonna be out there, and we break it down, we make it big. You know, it's just the way we do it, and you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the songs, the lyrics, and the guys I'm playing with on stage are also guys that were on the record, so it's really is cohesive, and it's a cool show. Like, I just want people to see what it is, and I want them to visualize what they're hearing and see it, and really be like, you know what, like, I get it, I feel it. I just want people to feel it. That's it. But come out to the shows, and you know, I mean, the touring and of course writing. You know, you know, this show Heart of Dixie, they just put Fight was just no song. The show Heart of Dixie, which was like the coolest thing in the world. I was like, you know, then like I was like, hey, look, that's my song, you know. And you know, I got to write for a bunch of artists. Like Ronan Keating just released a record with my song on it, and you know, the X Factor in Italy did one of my songs. Like, it's just like a lot of writing going on, and like that's another part of my career. It's a whole different thing.
Right.
And but it's really my main focus is the record right now, and just getting out there and exposing people to what it is I'm about, and giving people something to latch on to.
Well, thank you for coming in.
I enjoyed this interview very much.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.